Boom. It's happening. It's working.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here today. Oh, my microphone's right here on my shoulder.
Oh.
Slide up just an inch. Slide up an inch. I'm here today with my friend Shebreh Kalantari-Johnson. Tell me I got that right.
You got it right. And Rocky. Don't forget Rocky.
Oh, I can't forget Rocky. And you just ran for that supervisor race,
I did.
which was exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'm still
when do you want to start?
sleeping.
I know you want. You caught up. I saw the article in Lookout. Which, by the way, she's here today, but it's a great article in Lookout on Lookout. I forgot what it's .com or .org anyway. Written about her, so go check it out, and it's a good article. But I thought I'd come meet with her today, get it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, good. Thanks for making time.
Remember, there's no future in the past. Remember?
There's no future in the past. That is the driving point. There's no future in the past.
Okay.
And, I think something that's important is that as public servants,
Yeah.
our work doesn't end and begin with a campaign or an election. Whether we win or lose,
Yeah.
there's still work to be done.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Whether you win or lose, that's what I'm doing. And do the work.
You know what? TC and I have interviewed so many politicians. Not so many. I mean, most of the politicians that were involved in the race last month or last 6 months or whatever.
Year and a half for me.
Year and a half or whatever. And I'm like, not one of those people do I want their job. Like, oh shit, that's a good job. Ooh, I want to do that.
Well,
it's like, no.
The campaigning is different from the job, I should say.
Did the campaigning get ugly for you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but
what happened? I mean, maybe I missed it. What?
Well, false accusations and name calling and all of that. But I guess that's part of every campaign. I guess I really shouldn't be. But it was also really wonderful for me in that I connected with so many people.
Things get heated. When the heat rose, so did the tempers.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. But we all came out of it alive.
Yeah, just sticks and stones.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just words. You just can't let them affect you, and then you got to move on.
Yeah, I've already told you about my glittery rainbow shield. So.
What's your glittery rainbow shield?
What? I didn't tell you this?
Probably, but I forget.
Okay, well, people are like, well, you just gotta throw.
I don't remember
thick skin. You just gotta. Who wants to have alligator thick skin, right? So I created a glittery rainbow shield that just emits glitter and rainbow and protects me.
You got glitter in your pocket? Do you walk around throwing glitter?
You don't see the glittery rainbow shield right now?
Actually, I see you in a yellow ski jacket.
I'm ready for the holidays.
You look like you're going on vacation.
I am.
Are you gonna be skiing and snowboarding in that jacket?
Yeah. Well, no. Maybe.
No? You got a more trendy one?
Yes.
That's part of the game.
That's
right?
part of the game, and I will not be campaigning. That's for sure.
No, so you're done campaigning.
Done campaigning.
You know what happened?
What?
I shouldn't be doing on talking. You should be doing on talking. But I'm like, I went down with my friend Lori Martin.
Okay.
You know Lori Lee Martin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She
took me to the elections office. At the courthouse.
Yeah.
Right? What's it called?
The county clerk's
where they count all the votes?
Yeah.
And I met the lady, I don't remember her name.
Trisha,
that was it. She was great. I'm like, I did not know that the votes, the end of the election was over December 8th.
November 8th.
Excuse me, November 8th.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well,
we should know.
Couple of days later,
yeah.
Couple of days later, what's going on?
Yeah.
Well, I went and saw her. She goes, oh, no. The elections, the votes were counted. The election was November 8th, and counting all the votes takes till December 8th. I'm like, a month?
Well, yeah, and she had a great piece in Lookout as well that says why it's changed so much. It's the mail-in ballots. And everyone doing the mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit, when it's a close vote like that, and it's shifting, it's a little bit of a death by 1,000 cuts. It's quite painful to go through that process.
For you?
For any candidate, I imagine for Justin as well. You're just kind of
waiting. I was thinking about that.
Heart attack at 3:55 every day.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. You got to be stressed for like a month because you don't know what's.
Yeah.
And every vote counts. When you think, oh, screw it, I don't have time to go down and vote. Whatever. I lost the whatever. I lost the ballot. But it does make
Go vote.
it makes a difference. It makes a difference.
It does make.
Because so few people vote.
Yeah, it was a pretty low turnout.
Right?
Yeah, which was expected in a, non-presidential,
Right.
non-contentious election. So.
Where did you see it turning for you? Was it towards the end or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Towards the end, and then when it was clear, that's when I conceded.
What did you do? Did you call him?
I sent him a message.
You did?
I texted him.
Yeah.
And I let my voters know through my newsletter and through social media.
Yeah. You took the high road?
I think I took the high road.
Yeah.
There's no reason to do recounts or any of that, even though it was a close race, because
Yeah.
it's clear.
Yeah.
And that's democracy,
Right.
right? I ran a hell of a campaign, I believe.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of good times with the campaign. A lot of people put a lot into it. And then the voters decide and you move on. That's the message.
But you still move on. And you still are with the Santa Cruz City Council.
I am.
So you can still contribute
Yes.
in all the things that you want to contribute with.
Yes. So
just on maybe a lesser platform, maybe, or
it's a different platform.
Right.
The county is Health and Human Services. That's where my expertise and professional career lie.
Yeah.
I would have had a different platform to take the work to scale, but that doesn't mean I can't work on the issues. And let me just say, elected official or not, people who care about these issues can work on them. I mean, I only became an elected official 2 years ago, but I've been working on some of these core issues for a while now in this community. You just have to find your entry point.
Which ones you working on?
As a council member?
Yeah.
Well, I did a breakdown.
As we sit here today, the three most important issues that you're working on are.
Yes. Homelessness, which is connected to mental health and substance use.
How the hell can you make a difference there?
How much time do you have? This was going to be short.
It's
housing, workforce.
We don't have the housing.
Okay. And children.
Well, that I can see. Okay, I'm just going to be me. I can see making a difference. Housing, we don't have the room. Anybody who has a house, they're going to rent it out for $5,000 a month, and they get it. $4,000, $3,000. The rents are so stupidly crazy high.
Yeah. Look. I think we can.
That you can't.
I think we can build our housing while preserving.
Where are we building?
Beautiful outdoor
space. Got that
freaking
freaking mausoleum, that fort they built downtown that they're building right now. The hell did that come from?
Wait till it's done.
That
Don't
looks
knock it till it's done.
I'm not knocking it, but just I'm just reminded of Santa Cruz years ago when it was a small little town, a quaint little kind of village, and now it's turned into that big building down there makes it look like something out of the middle of San Francisco.
Look. Here's the reality, and we don't need to get in the weeds, but here's the reality. Our whole state has to build. There are state laws that are dictating that, and if we don't do it the way we want to do it, so that we keep our beautiful Santa Cruz, then it's going to turn into over the hill Silicon Valley. So that's what it comes down to.
You can use that table. Those are mine, though. Yeah, we're just recording here. So if you can go sit over there, or just because we hear your voices, we're trying to record here. Thank you.
We'll be done soon.
We'll be done in 10 minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
Where was I? Oh, okay. So building where? Okay, so building. Where are we building in Santa Cruz? Where are we
building in downtown? Building in downtown, and then look, we got to think about modernizing our transportation system, right? I just came out of a Metro Board meeting.
Oh, you mean a bus service?
A bus service.
Yeah.
That actually meets our community's needs. And the 3 goal areas that the Metro just set is increasing ridership, having all electric vehicles.
Good.
And building workforce affordable housing along transit corridors.
Okay.
So, we've got partners. We don't have to do this alone.
Okay. Are we going to get people out of their cars into buses?
Some. Not everybody.
Trickle, maybe.
Some.
Small trickle.
What's your solution?
My solution? I grew up in England, right? You grew up in Persia, and in England we had an infrastructure built with railways, and you took the train from Brighton to London. I got on an underground, and then at the underground, after I was done with the underground, I got a taxi to my destination.
Yeah.
I can get to my destination.
Right.
And you can't do that here.
We can make it better.
Okay.
We can make it better.
Okay.
And that's what we're working on. Did you see that the county just got the RTC just got a huge grant.
They did?
Yep.
How much? Whatever. What are they going to do?
115
What are they going to do with it?
We're going to work on the rail corridor.
From Watsonville to Davenport, or just more?
Well, that's the ultimate idea. That's the big vision. Yeah.
As having a train and a rail on a train, the whole rail train thing. We're going back with that.
Yeah. We've already talked about this.
Right? I know, right?
Yeah.
Beat like a dead horse. Huh?
But you know, these are.
I mean, yeah. Okay. We're working on that. Yeah. Let's see what that is. Let's see with that money that was given. Let's see what happens with it. Yeah. It doesn't just end up being like your little starry,
shield?
Yeah. Doesn't go. Doesn't that the money doesn't get glittered away to all to nothing.
It won't.
Homelessness. I mean, I don't even know where to start with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I'll tell you this.
It's like if you're running, and you just get. Where do you start with that? Where's the first step?
There's a lot of first steps, and we've taken some of them, but not all of them. But let me tell you this, what we see, and I've said this before, what we see as street homelessness, which is, there's a whole spectrum, right? What we see as street homelessness is largely due to mental health and substance abuse issues. And we are lacking in those services and facilities here in our community.
Yeah.
And there's momentum. There's money at the state. We've got some new assembly members representing our region that are advocates that will work with us. 2 women for the first time. I'm very excited about that. Assembly member Gail Pellerin and Assembly member Don Addis.
Yeah.
So we've got allies, and we don't have to do it alone, but we have to think outside of our small boxes and go bigger, right?
Okay, so homelessness is going this direction. It's going that way. It's just that way.
What does that way mean?
Just it's going forward. Oh, it's getting worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
When could you actually even imagine having a course where it turns and comes back the other way?
Yeah,
where
we're seeing it with our youth.
We are.
Remember? Yeah, I shared this data with you.
I thought OD was a problem with I thought overdose is a really big problem right now with the youth.
Overdose is a big problem with the whole population. We, in our last point in time count, where we count the homeless, unhoused individuals in our community, we saw a 61% decrease in transition age youth being homeless in 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's a big turn.
Yeah.
So I think we need to look at those numbers and look at what we've done there. Sorry, my dog's wrapped around your leg here. To have some hope.
Right.
Right. Multi-pronged, certainly housing, transitional shelter, mental health, substance abuse treatment, workforce development.
Workforce development.
So people who are unhoused and who are ready to be housed and who are stabilized want and need purpose.
Yeah.
So workforce training. So there's a lot of different ways to do it.
The new mayor she just called it a national, what'd she call it? A national disaster or a disaster.
Yeah.
Right?
But yes. And LA's problem is big.
Well, so is ours.
Ours is too.
We're a little city with big town problems.
And I can't address all of it. We can't address all of it as city council members.
You can't?
No, it's outside of our scope and outside of the resources that we have, but it doesn't mean that we ignore it and we throw our hands up and say someone else take care of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're responsible for infrastructure. We've set up some shelters. Now we need to rely on county state resources to pick up the thread on service provision and then housing navigation and into permanent supportive housing or permanent housing. So.
Go ahead.
Okay. So some of the core issues I heard on the campaign trail when I was talking to people was what I named: housing, homelessness, and our children, and making sure that our children have safe parks to go to, making sure our children can ride their bikes to school, making sure we have counselors at school. So many kids are impacted right now, coming out of COVID.
I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. He's a higher up in the sheriff's department. He goes, Neil, every high school, or most high schools in our area, there is a kid in class with a gun.
Where? From where?
He lives. He's a sheriff here locally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and we just experienced a scare recently
With Santa Cruz High.
with Santa Cruz High.
Right.
And
It showed
I
you.
can
It
tell
gave you an idea though, the movement of how amazing our community is, because everyone like went to like high alert in like 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I mean, to watch it all unfold was quite incredible.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, as a mom, it was so terrifying. I didn't realize that my body went into shock. And later on that
Your
evening,
kids go to that school.
yeah, I
Yeah.
have a freshman there.
Yeah.
And later, and you know, he's texting me.
Right.
He's like, I'm safe right now, but am I safe? You know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you could hear the fear in him.
Yeah.
And then my middle schooler is texting me. He's like, what's going on? Is Daryush okay? Is my brother okay? I mean, all around. And that night, I didn't realize that like my body went into shaking when I found out. That night, I was like, God, my body's really sore.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's because I went into shock.
Do you think there are kids out there that are somewhat afraid to go to school, or that's in the back of their mind, or do you think they're just kids and they don't pay attention to that kind of stuff? I mean, all the stuff's going on around the country.
Yeah.
And I say our country because it seems to be happening here a lot, not too much anywhere else. But this, you know, with so many shootings, I wonder if our kids are going to school, but thinking, you know, am I safe in this place? You know.
I don't know that they're thinking that, but the fact that they know how to quickly go in and barricade a room and know what to do, like that's insane.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so yes, there's likely a level of underlying fear. Certainly after that incident happened,
Right.
a lot of the kids were traumatized. But my son showed me a picture
Yeah.
of their room. He's like, yeah, all the kids just like within seconds. They knew what to do.
That's pretty cool. Well,
It's,
I'm not.
it's cool,
you know,
and, like,
it's not pretty cool.
God,
It's
that's the
actually
that's the
frightening,
world
really.
that we live in.
God damn it! Yeah.
So that's huge. Yeah, gun safety is huge, and I actually looked into that for our city, and we have very sound gun safety laws in our city.
Yeah.
And clearly, as we saw, we have a mechanism in place where our systems can all respond really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the city, you're on the council.
Yeah.
Martine's in the council?
Yes.
Okay. So every once in a while, can I come back and check with you in like a month from now, or with you or her, or
I'd like
whoever
that.
else I know? Just so, you know what, I don't
What are we
think...
doing?
You know what we're doing? We are...
No, you're going to ask us, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Yeah, I'm going to ask you what you're doing. I'm going to ask you know what?
Yeah.
I didn't realize this when I started, but I can't do this, or what can you do, what can't you do, and then just check in, because I think that a lot of, so we talked about low voter turnout. I think a lot of people don't understand how government works.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just see the voting ballot. Okay, I got to pick one of these dudes. It's like throwing pick it. But they knew if they had more information or could see how government works. Like I had no idea that really the last election ended December 8th, because you have to wait for all those votes to be counted.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I know, it takes a
There's
month.
all these women in the room counting votes, right?
You know, I think you're bringing up such a good point, and that's one of the things that I want to focus on. One of the things I loved about campaigning, as I said, is connecting directly with our community members.
Right.
So,
So if you can connect with me about anything you want,
I'm going to connect with
I'll check
you.
with you. I'll check you after the new year.
I'm going to reach out to, now we've shifted to district elections, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in District 3 of the city council districts. I'm going to reach out to my voters and set up regular meet and greets and town halls.
Yeah.
I'm going to work with some youth that are engaged in our youth work and meet with them regularly and share with them.
Take me along with you one
time.
time. Take me along, you know?
I will. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
Can I clean this table?
Yeah.
Thanks.
How are you, honey?
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Using your office as an office.
Awesome.
She's gonna
Pretty beautiful office.
She's gonna charge me. She's gonna send me an invoice. Neil,
I love it.
that was $25 sitting in my chair.
I actually wanted to talk to you about using your office as an office for a town hall meet and greet with
Oh, yeah.
with the neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Reach out to
Dogs
you.
are here.
I'm Shebreh. I don't know.
Yeah. Nice
Yeah.
to meet you. I feel like we've met before.
We have. Yeah. We've chatted.
Sorry about the
Thank-
stupid...
Thanks, kiddo.
Thank you, Neil. Sorry, I'm holding on to the dog. Rocky, come here.
You're a good one.
Oh. Thanks for doing your work and getting,
No problem.
getting messages out there and connecting with our community members.
That's what I do.
All right. See you all later. Sorry
When
for
you're
the
not
dog.
causing trouble.
Here's Rocky.